44 at K-Fire Guns and this 701. Thanks for giving me the idea for the word of the day, by the way, for the great golf giveaway. I'll let to you guys. Manifesto, in case you missed it. Oh, my God. Really? Are we back to that again? I mean, first it was the weird guy in Idaho and then in Columbine, and now it's like a buzzword again.
Yeah. Hey, I caught that right away that you had manifesto as your word. I was kind of chuckling.
Well, I don't think it's a word that's just going to accidentally slip into the conversation, right? You got to be pretty deliberate about putting that word out there, but
absolutely.
But you never know. Try to make it somewhat of a safe word that won't accidentally. Oh, wait a minute. That's right. That's the word. I can't say that word. No, you're pretty much intending to say it if you're saying it, but. Another former student and now Colorado Springs and crying out loud.
Yeah.
The heck.
Yeah.
Well, we have to get rid of the guns then, don't we? You know that's a battle cry far too often right now.
Yeah, where Todd's getting manifesto from here is according to arrest affidavits, deputies were dispatched to a disturbance in Elbert County, Colorado. March 31st at 7:18 p.m. Dispatch noted, sister made a violent approach to reporting party. Sister threatened to shoot up school. Sister has anger issues. Sister has made comments the day before referencing school shooting. Once inside, deputies noted, holes were punched in the wall, bedroom doors ripped off its hinges. Sister identified herself as Lily, but guess what? Upon further investigation, we got a tranny. It's named William Whitworth. Didn't look like a small guy to me. Again, we got one of these trannies who wants to go shoot up a school, had anger issues, and the deputies asked, are you going to shoot the school up? Yeah, Whitworth, nodded up and down, yeah. But why would you want to do that? And then he says, why would anybody want to do that? So it just sounds like another one of these evil people. Got a whole list of stuff here. I'm going to let Clay take over and talk about this a little bit more. I kind of laid the groundwork for it in the manifesto. And go ahead, Clay, and give us your 2 cents on this deal.
Yeah, I kind of thought it was interesting, too, when the sheriff's department showed up, even asked me why that school. No specific reason, and I'm going to refer to him as him because he is a him. He's a mentally disturbed person, showing that we do have a mental illness problem. Like, that's been, we've been talking about this literally now for years. It's not a gun problem. It's a mental illness problem, and it is. We got issues going on. But this person made suicidal statements as well in the affidavit. Even seemed a little drunk when they got there. But basically, she was about, as she put it, but he put it, about a third of the way from getting it done, verifying that the Timberview Middle School was one of the main targets currently, and then had other targets. And guess what they were? Churches. Because they're the evil places to these people because we won't accept their delusional illness, and that's what they go after. He also said he'd been planning this for a month or two. Wow. Well, there's first-degree murder when you're planning it. Stated that and then had the layout of the school, had his active firearms planned, and then, of course, had the word of the day, manifesto. So the manifesto was on a dry erase board when the cops got in there. And then a list of names in a notebook. I mean, this thing was 4 pages long, guys, this manifesto that this guy wrote. And what really I found interesting, guess what else they found in the warrant? The Communist Manifesto by Karl Marx.
Oh, there we go.
Imagine that.
There we go.
And in those books, he had written ways I want to die with a list stating murder, burned alive, freezing, and drowning. Wow.
Oh, Lord. By the way, to be fair, because I do want to be fair, there have been manifestos written by people who are not transgender, and not everybody transgender writes manifestos. So,
it's true, very true.
Another thing I found interesting too is he went on to YouTube because he wanted to put a detonator inside of the school clock, one of the school clocks. Went on YouTube and saw how to do it, which is funny. Because that's still on YouTube, but if Clay and I say the wrong word on YouTube, not even a vulgar word, we say the wrong word, or demonstrate how to use a firearm in the wrong way, they'll kick us off YouTube.
Maybe you need to be dressed in drag then. Maybe that's the difference.
Maybe.
Hey, now to be fair, who hasn't daydreamed about blowing up a school clock before?
Oh. I mean, heck, we got a notice put on our last week's episode that it was violence or had content on YouTube. And you had to click on it that you're 18 because we showed the body cam footage from the other mentally ill tranny in Tennessee. So, yeah. It's
wow.
And going again here with the Communist Manifesto, this person was a Democrat because the people like that read that kind of thing and love it. The commies, that's the Democrats, they're the leftists. And I'll guarantee you, damn near every one of these school shootings is done by a leftist. Not all of them, but just about all of them. So, I mean, if you want to stop some of these school shootings, maybe we should just ban Democrats from owning guns. I think that'd be a good start right there.
Right. Somebody's going to come up with a statistic and go, wait a minute, but these Republicans also shot and blah. So be careful what you wish for on that one. Will Tennessee be able to get armed guards at every public school like they're proposing?
Well, it's kind of looking like it. The governor wants it. Go ahead, Jamie.
All right, yeah. So, Governor Bill Lee, Republican of Tennessee, he put forth 3 provisions to keep schools safe. And, hey, Democrats, you're not going to like this. None of them includes banning guns, which we've been doing that, and that hasn't worked. That's been proven to be a failure. The first of which is a budget amendment to fund an armed guard at every public school in Tennessee. I'm on board with that. I think 1 guard's not nearly enough. It should at least be 2 to 3, depending on the size of the school. The second provision was to make significant physical security upgrades at both public and private schools, which is awesome, too. Bulletproof these doors. That's these people are shooting their way in right through the front door. Bulletproof that. I'm down with that. And, of course, the third one, get mental health resources available to more people, which is fine with me. I don't know that that's going to help anything, but if it makes them feel good and they want to put money towards that, go ahead. I'd rather just keep putting more money towards security guards and making these schools hard targets, to be honest with you.
Yeah, absolutely. This has been the problem. And a lot of these shooters come out and say, hey, why'd you choose a school or why'd you choose it? They're soft targets. They knew there would be nobody there to stop them. We saw that in Tennessee. That's exactly why that person chose that particular school, because it was the best, easiest soft target that they could enter. And you see that so often. And they choose these kill boxes, as I call them, or as leftists call them, gun-free zones. It don't work. This is a way better idea.
The girl in Tennessee, actually, Clay wrote that down in her manifesto, that's why she picked that school instead of a different one, because there was no security and it was easy to get into. So big shocker there to people who pay attention. Right?
Hey, at least we quit having fire drills in schools and chasing everybody out to become targets. Because, come on, when's the last time a school burned down? And if a school, let's say a school did burn down, you think we don't know how to run out the damn door?
Yeah. Now they're all built out of steel and brick. Pretty hard for them to burn.
I remember being in like 3rd or 4th grade going, why do we always do this? Even back then, I didn't understand why we always did. You think we don't know to get the heck out of the building if we see a fire? Gee whiz.
Maybe it was conditioning. Let me see if we would line up and follow orders.
Good point. Good point. You got me on that one. Guns in the 701. Trump Glocks sell out. Imagine that with all that's going on right now.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. And they made these Glock pistols displaying his image and his name, and they sold out just boom. And it doesn't surprise me, especially with what has happened here the last week.
No.
They were customized Glock 19s, and I mean, I would have loved to have one, but of course they're gone already. It's interesting, though, you tie this in, and there's been 44 straight months now of over 1 million or more mixed background checks, which that's the National Instant Background Check System that everybody has to go through. There are states that qualify with their own permits, North Dakota being one, where you can bypass the federal NICS because you've already went through the state. And right now, National Shooting Sports Foundation, they're putting out their 1.5, basically almost 1.6 million just in March. And And I'm going to break it down just quickly because there was over 3 million actually done in March. Me and Jamie were actually talking about this. So I pulled up the actual NICS background checks, and I was correct on that. Basically, they take out everything in that number, and that's just the ones on that 1.5 million plus that went through NICS. The other ones were basically through other states that had their own system, and you can do that under the Brady legislation that was passed. They had their own system, and they bypassed that. And the ones from the National Shooting Sports Foundation actually don't count background checks that transferred an actual firearm. So that's why there's a discrepancy if anybody looks up those numbers. But overall, there were over 3 million background checks actually done in March, and about 1.56 of those actually resulted in a firearm transfer. Now, we don't know how many firearms because it could have been multiples, but it's a trend. And then you see things like this where Donald Trump's Glocks just boom flew off the shelf. So yeah, I'm kind of glad to see that.
Yeah, but the problem is if you get a YouTube video kicked off, then you don't get a Trump Glock, you get a Kamala Harris Glock. So
well, then you got a new target.
Guns in the 701 Best podcast on iHeart. The new stuff goes up when?
It drops right away every Wednesday after the show, and I'll let you finish it out, Jamie.
Yeah, Clay gets it uploaded to all the podcasts. iHeart number one. I mean, you can waste your time with the other ones, but iHeart's the one you want to be on because that's the best.
Yeah,
just like our podcast is the best.
There we go.
Absolutely. Every Wednesday, if you can't get the podcast, you can catch us live every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Mountain, 7 p.m. Central. That's on our Facebook page, YouTube channel, gunsin701.com, and of course, we're on with Todd every Friday here at 8:40, which is awesome. It's probably the best radio segment in North Dakota. And every Monday, we're on KFYR. We're on KFYR Plus. That's KFYR TV's new live streaming service. You can catch that at 12:30 p.m. Central.
All right, fantastic, guys. Have a great weekend. Any big Easter weekend plans, or
just spending it with family?
Shooting.
Just shooting. That's what I thought. That's what I was expecting to hear. Thanks, guys. Take care. Guns in the 701 on iHeart.